Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Mastermind Book Club. In tonight's book summary/review, I will introduce one of our members, Charles Comer, to introduce the book and give his summary. Go ahead, Charles.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mastermind Book Club. Today, we're going to talk about The Ethics of Money by, bear with me, Jorg Hulsmann. He is a professor of economics at the University of Angers in France. Now, in his book, it's interesting that he talks about how the West is really excelled in its economic prowess, whereas we have overcome our production states. For example, in Indonesia and China and Russia and in Africa, they all have room for growth, whereas your Western countries, such as, once again, the United States, most of Europe, and Great Britain, have already reached the capacity for growth. Therefore, we're experiencing stag inflation in most of the Western countries. Because of this, the dollar is devaluating. And one thing they're looking to do is to halt production, halt the or privatize the privatize money. They're looking to privatize money as a way of slowing down inflation. If inflation gets to be too high, then we could reap the benefits or reap the destruction of inflation for the next 20 years. So the book gives a contrarian view of what we actually know about economics, and it's very, very vital that we really look into what this professor from France is talking about even more, because it's really relevant to what's going on today. Thank you.
Charles Comer, thank you. And this book is very, very insightful. I appreciate that. Reggie Hilliard.
Good evening, everyone. Reggie Hilliard from the Mastermind Book Club. And to the point of what David said, yes, this is a very insightful book because it's really touching on money in all aspects as it relates to money, the use of money, the creation of money, the rules around money, everything money oriented. And the basic principles and premises that are being discussed has to do with having these particular rules in place, and having a system in place that allows the creation of money to happen, that allows that the use of money to happen, allows the overall economy of money to happen, where there are certain parameters in place, such that there's fair use of money, so that people are not getting carried away in terms of the production, in terms of with the way the government is able to print money, as we know with the whole fiat concept of money, which we've been on a system for the last 50 plus years. And so that causes, this sort of inflationary system that we know of. And, so the thing of money, money can't just act on its own, without rules in play. It becomes like a free fall, and that's definitely not going to be a good thing. So you have to, understand that with having this system of money, there have to be these guidelines that make it such that everything that's happening with money, is basically within certain realms of and parameters, so that it's not dysfunctional and people are not, like I say, sort of acting as if this is the wild, wild west and everything else. So the book really touches on a lot of that, the economy and the rules around money, the morality around money, all the sort of things that are necessary for money to work in an economy and a system such as the one that we have now, not specifically only in America, but around the world. So that's what I'll touch on, just covering the overall aspects of money and how money is used in all different ways and all the things that sort of keep money, the system of money, working the way it does.
Awesome, Reggie. And yes, many uses of money. Just want to touch on two very quick things. Number one is that in this book, The Ethics of Money, the author talks a lot about inflation. Inflation is a powerful tool that, according to the author, is utilized by governments to control the amount of money out there. And guess who wins whether it is up or down? The governments. That is according to the author. it's a vantage point for many of us just to be aware why we have inflation. Without inflation, things would be much worse, according to the author. So inflation is necessary in order to balance things out. And that's why at times, like right now, people are making more money, but instead of taking more home, they're actually spending more. So it's a catch. It's a catch. You're not necessarily making more money because of inflation. The other thing that I want to leave you with is that this author gives us insight into that this has occurred throughout history. At first, it was a bargaining tool used money. Instead of money, it was gold, silver, and certain other types of metals that were used for trade. Those are still available out there. However, they're used as a backup against money. Now, the weird thing is that because of my research, this is not what the author says, because of my research, I know that there has been gold found in certain countries like Africa, more than the supply that is out there. But why hasn't money been devalued because of this? I don't know the answer to that, but if you know the answer to that, maybe leave it in the comments and we'll look over it. So this is the Mastermind Book Club recommending this book because it talks about a lot of what we're going through right now with inflation and probably a huge stagflation that's coming soon. Take care until next week, where we'll review the last part of this book and a new book. Take care.